Hi, my name is Dan Wright from Poulin, and today I'm going to talk to you about supplies you need to set up a brooder. So before you get your chicks home, it's always important to have the supplies that you need ahead of time. So the first thing that I recommend is going and getting some shavings. You want the shavings to be a coarse shaving so the bird's digestive system will get plugged up. Chicks are curious, so they'll eat just about anything in front of them. So use a coarse shavings. That'll help them not plug up their digestive system. The next thing that I like to do is get a thermometer. Set the thermometer in the brooder. Set it towards the bottom of the brooder where the chicks are going to be. Get your chicks home. You want the temperature to be at 95 degrees and decrease the temperature 5 degrees every week after. So 95 degrees the first week, 90 degrees the next week, 85 and so on. So decrease the temperature as the birds get bigger. Once they start to get some feather formation, they're not going to need as much heat. The next thing that you want to do is you want to get your heat lamp and your heat bulb. I recommend a red bulb for a couple of reasons. As the birds continue to grow and you have a heat source, in the winter months when they need it, it's less harsh on their system. If older birds get blood spots, it's harder for them to see. So a red bulb, in my mind, works out really, really well for that situation. When you set your shavings up in your brooder, you want to keep the shavings a couple inches so the birds can actually, get through it. Clean it out, at first, probably every 4 to 5 days. And then as they get bigger, as it starts to smell, I clean it out more often. The next thing you want to do is you want your water about this size for baby chicks. The nice thing about it is it's easy to fill up. When you get your chicks home, you can do a couple of things to it. You can add some apple cider vinegar to it to encourage them to drink. You can also add a teaspoon of sugar into the water to give them a little more energy. And it also flavors the water and they drink it better. If you get the birds home and they don't drink, what you want to do is you want to take their beaks and you want to dip it into the water to encourage them to drink. You also need a feeder. And this is the feeder, or the elongated one, personal preference. One's not better than the other. Again, when you get your chicks home, you'll set up your feeder, you put your feed in there, it trickles through. As the chicks get bigger, this probably will not be big enough when they're full grown. So what we do is we keep this, these feeders and waters for baby chicks, and then we have the next size up as they get bigger. So this is a feeder here. It's a 3-gallon feeder. The top comes off, you pour your grain in it. And this encourages, less filling up of the grain and the water throughout the day. When you get your chicks, we have these handy dandy little chick boxes here. When you get them home, put them in the brooder as soon as possible. We want to keep these chicks warm. Remember, the brooder is an artificial mother, and it's going to protect them for the first several weeks of their lives. When you get your chick starter, you want to use a fine chick starter so they can eat it. If you're using a pellet, they have a harder time consuming it and they waste a lot, and they won't eat it as well. So use a small chick starter, and we recommend a medicated free chick starter. Birds don't need the medication when they first come home. We don't recommend it ever. We use things to keep the immune system of the birds functioning properly. So if they do need medication, we'd rather put it in the water than to add it in the grain. When you get your chicks home, I recommend for the first couple weeks, put an electrolyte in your water. This will give them more vitamins and minerals and help them for a better start in life. So if you guys have any questions, please ask your Poulin Grain dealer or contact Poulin Grain at 800-334-6731. We will have the answers for you. On this chick box here, there's a chick list. This will help make sure you guys get everything that you need when you go home. Also, make sure you grab a brochure. Brochure has the different stages of life for the chicks, and then the pullets, and then the layers. Grab one of these. There's also information inside the brochure on different breeds that you're going to be raising. And then last but not least, make sure you grab a chick raising fact and reminder. This will help you remember your brooder temperature, what you need for supplies, and so on. So if you have any questions, please give us a call. Thank you.